On the way to the ring, from San Antonio, Texas, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels.
I said chill, up and down there, slide. I'm just a sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. I'm just a sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. I make them hot. I make them shiver. Then you whenever
On the way to the ring, from the Isle of Samoa, weighing in at 350 pounds, Umaga.
Welcome from Portland, Maine. This is good old JR, Jim Ross here with Jerry the King Lawler.
I've never seen a crowd so fired up, JR. They can't wait to get started, and neither can I.
That makes two of us, King. I don't think Portland's going to know what hit it after tonight.
Oh, sure. Now the fans start to cheer for him. Now that he's in the driver's seat.
Come on, King. He's had the crowd behind him all match, and now it's paying off.
to play the game.
The quickest way to lose a match is to underestimate your opponent.
I don't think he's underestimating anyone, King. I think he's making it clear that he refuses to be intimidated.
Watch out! He reversed it! I can't believe he countered that one.
These superstars are going to put each other through wrestling hell. There's no room for error when you're on the top rope.
What does he think he's doing? Looks like someone's heading for the high rent district. I think it's pretty obvious which way this one's going to go, JR.
Well, from my perspective, this is still anybody's match.
I'd like to see things from your perspective, JR, but I'd have to get my head out of my rear. Over the top rope and down to the floor. That's an elimination. He countered that one perfectly. His opponent telegraphed that one. You take one look at Bret Hart, and it's not hard to see why he's a WWE Hall of Famer.
I'll put it this way, old King of Memphis. If Bret Hart doesn't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame, nobody does. Is that? Yeah, that's an elimination.
Can you believe we actually get...
His opponent's down, and now he's sharing a piece of his mind.
He's going to have to eat those words by the end of this match, JR. You talk about ruthless aggression. Look at the way these superstars have been going after each other.
Oh boy, the adrenaline is pumping. I think this could be the beginning of the end.
No, it can't end like this. Come on, do something, quick! Oh my gosh, he's been eliminated from the match. How can Shawn Michaels keep calling himself the Heartbreak Kid? Does he really think he's still breaking hearts at his age?
King, I'm sorely tempted to say something about the pot and the kettle. But instead, I'll say that I think Shawn Michaels is like a fine wine. He's only improved with age.
He reversed it.
Look at the fire in the eyes of the great Khali. He's here to deliver a slobber knocker.
Oh no, I don't like the looks of this.
He's got the fans behind him, King, and his opponent had better watch out. Look at this. Look at this. You talk about a house of fire, you're seeing it right here.
Yeah? Well, somebody better put out that fire, or
He's been removed from the ring and from contention in this match. Look at him feeding off the energy from this capacity crowd. He's unstoppable.
You can't ever count on these fans, JR. They're fickle. Up and over and out. Eliminated.
This is Raw action at its finest. That's why Raw is the #1 brand of sports entertainment.
You got that right, JR. You're not going to see this kind of action on Smackdown.
Not on Smackdown or anywhere else. There's nothing else out there that can come close to the excitement of seeing the Raw superstars perform live.
I don't believe it! He's been eliminated!
He's not going to get caught with that one.
This has gone beyond just being a match, JR. I think these superstars genuinely hate each other.
There's no love lost between these competitors, that's for sure. If looks could kill, somebody would be pushing up daisies right now.
And you've got to admit, that makes for a much more interesting match, JR.
It sure does. But I just hope these superstars can settle their... This match has come to an abrupt end for that superstar. Excellent counter. What ring presence. Is there any superstar in WWE who can go toe-to-toe with that man, The Undertaker? He's got the crowd and his opponent in the palm of his hand.
That can change in an instant, especially if you let your opponent catch his breath.
What a reversal.
He isn't fooling around here, JR.
Not with that pedigree, he isn't. God, what a debilitating maneuver. Boy, Booker T will tell. He just got tossed out rather unceremoniously, in my opinion.
You're not going to win a match by insulting your opponent.
No, but having the crowd behind you can certainly get the adrenaline pumping. He's a slippery devil. You're not going to get him with that one.
What a counter! I don't think the fans appreciated that one very much, but I don't think he cares much what the fans think.
That much is obvious, King. What a low-down, despicable move that was. Bret Hart might well be the greatest technical superstar to ever compete in the WWE. He countered that and made it look easy.
I'm not a squeamish man, but watching some of the stuff Mick Foley does sends a chill up my spine.
That's it. The match is over for that particular superstar. That went nowhere.
Man, is there even going to be anything left of these superstars by the time they're...
Come on! That should be a disqualification right there.
What are you talking about, JR? I didn't see anything. Oh, no. This is terrible. You can't let your opponent build this kind of momentum.
Well, he doesn't look too happy about it, but an elimination is an elimination. This capacity crowd is making their opinions known tonight.
They sure are, JR, and I love to hear it. This is a mistake, JR. Everyone knows that overconfidence costs superstars matches.
That might be true, King, but all I see is a very confident superstar who's got everything going his way. This capacity crowd is solidly behind their superstar. Look at this.
Wow, could you be any more biased, JR? How about some fair and balanced commentary? Uh-oh. You gotta stop this guy before he really gets going.
I don't think that's going to happen, King. He's built up too much momentum to be stopped now. All fired up now, King, and I'd hate to be on the receiving end.
I don't think his opponent's got a hope of hurting him now.
I've had many. There he goes. He's out of the match. And it's been reversed. Look at this. Here it comes.
The rock bottom. Nobody gets up from that, JR.
these phenomenal superstars.
Did you expect anything less, JR? I mean, look who's in the ring right now.
No, I didn't, King. I had high expectations, and I'm happy to say that this match...
Well, there's one less superstar in this match now.
A lot of blood, sweat, and tears have been shed.
Talk about adding insult to injury, tossed out of the ring and the match. You know what I miss most about The Rock? The way he used to make you look like an idiot when you tried to interview him.
Well, yes. The Rock was always interesting. I'll just leave it at that. You've got to ask yourself, how much punishment will these superstars be able to withstand?
I don't know, JR, but I think they're pretty intent on finding out.
They certainly are. I don't know how it's going to end, but I can guarantee...
Oh, here we go. What a jerk. How about continuing the match?
I don't think he's in any hurry to end this one, King. And I don't think the crowd wants it to end either.
Is it just me? Or does the dead man seem a little off tonight?
I don't know what match you're watching, King, but the dead man looks as good tonight as when he first appeared in the WWE.
I'm not sure if it's your eyes or your brain that shot JR, but that's ridiculous. The Undertaker should quit now, while he can still retire with some dignity. So, how do you think this one's going to turn out, JR?
Honestly, King, I have absolutely no... This is a risky move. It could prove to be disastrous.
Wow, he wasn't too gentle about throwing him out.
And there's the elimination.
It's like he read his opponent's mind. He turned the tables on his opponent with that one.
The biggest mistake you can make with the Sandman is to underestimate him. He's got one of the...
That's it. He's out of the ring, and that means he's out of the match, too.
A reversal. Can he capitalize on it?
He saw that one coming.
You think you know me?
I'd be a lot more impressed by King Kennedy if I didn't think he was such a pompous ass.
When you're as great as Mr. Kennedy, it's hard to be humble, JR. After some of the things we've seen in this ring, JR, I think we'd better remind the folks at home not to try this stuff themselves.
He might as well start walking back to the locker room. He's out of this match.
He took a ride over the top rope, down to the floor, and out of this match. Good.
These superstars are in terrific shape, and that comes as no surprise whatsoever.
No kidding. If you don't have that conditioning, you're not going to last long in a match.
You sure aren't. And that's only one of the many reasons I try to stay out of the ring whenever possible.
Yeah. Looks like the hopes of winning this would have been shattered, JR.
A textbook reversal there.
I think these superstars have a legitimate beef with each other, JR.
So do I, King. I'm not so sure their issues with each other are going to be solved with one match.
I hope not.
I can't believe what I'm seeing. He used his opponent's own finishing move.
You gotta respect the commitment and the dedication of these superstars to their careers.
No question about it, King. Every superstar on the roster has had to make more sacrifices than any other professional athlete I know.
It really is like being married to your career. There's not much room for anything else.
And marriage is a subject which you happen to be something of an authority. Isn't that right, King?
Come on now, JR. A man doesn't know what true...
Here it comes, King. The most electrifying move in sports entertainment.
Here it is! The people's elbow! I've got to admit it, I'm electrified, JR. I think I see where this one's going, JR. I don't think we're very far from the end of the match.
I disagree entirely, King. I'd bet my Oklahoma Sooner ass that this one isn't even close. That's one fewer superstar in this match.
There's the reversal.
This Lashley is so young and so impressive. I can only imagine the career he's got ahead of him.
Well, you know what they say, JR. The candle that burns twice as bright burns half as long.
Maybe so, King. But any superstar who earns himself a spot at WrestleMania in his rookie year is one to watch, as far as I'm concerned.
Did you ever think you'd be watching these superstars compete against each other here tonight, JR?
I had a feeling their paths were going to cross sooner or later, and I'm glad I'm here to see.
Me too. It almost makes it worth having to sit next to you and listen to those corny expressions of yours. What the heck is a government mule anyway?
It's what you get beat like when you're in the middle of a slobber knock. And if you don't have the guts to stick around, you might run like a scalded dog with a case of the liver tape.
All right, enough! I'm getting a translator before I have to come out here with you again. How can these fans be this excited about Rey Mysterio, JR? He's so tiny that half of them probably can't even see him in the ring.
Well, King, there's an old saying. Size doesn't matter. It's what you do with it that counts. And I'm sure you've heard that one before.
What? What are you saying, JR? Don't try to change the subject just because you know I'm right. I talked to these superstars backstage before the match, and I don't think I've ever seen competitors so ready to get it on.
And that's coming through loud and clear here tonight in this match. They're not taking it easy on each other either.
It's been said a million times, but I'll say it again. This isn't ballet. Ruthless aggression is the name of the game. I don't think that these superstars have even contemplated the fact that they might lose.
I'm sure they have. That's not the kind of attitude you come in with and expect to pick up the win.
You're right about that, JR. If you can't see yourself having your arm raised by the referee when it's over, don't bother showing up. Ugh.
I know Vontavious Porter calls himself SmackDown's MVP, but I don't see it.
Hey, cut him some slack. He is from Smackdown, after all.
I'm sure these competitors have studied each other very carefully.
This match would be over by now if they hadn't, JR. You never get into the ring without doing your homework.
That would be a recipe for disaster for sure, King.
I wonder if SmackDown's gonna have anything nearly this good next Friday.
I think we both know the answer to that one, King. How could they compete with a match like this?
I feel so lucky that I'm actually getting to see these superstars wrestle each other.
Me too, King. This one has the potential to become an instant classic.
I'll never understand what the big deal is about Batista. He's just another superstar with more muscles than brains as far as I'm concerned.
You couldn't be more wrong, King. All of these fans love confidence in their superstars, and that's just what they're seeing from him here tonight.
Well, he can do this until the crowds come home, but that's not going to win him the match.
This match is going to continue until someone's completely debilitated. And considering the resiliency of these superstars, that's not going to be easy.
That's for sure. No one in this match is going down without a fight.
And I wouldn't expect any less from them, King. Like them or not, you've got to respect the tenacity of each and every WWE superstar. Look at the confidence radiating off this superstar.
All I see is an overconfident superstar who's throwing away the match by not following up.
I've got a feeling that this has all the makings of an instant classic.
That's probably just gas, JR.
Well, I did have some good old Oklahoma barbecue before tonight's show, but I don't think that's it, King. I'll tell you what, it wouldn't hurt my feelings one bit to see Nitro taking down a peg or three here tonight.
What have you got against Nitro, JR? He's young, he's talented, he's good looking. Oh, wait, I think I just answered my own question.
Boy, what an incredible competitor Rey Mysterio is. I'd have to say that pound for pound, he might be the most exciting superstar on the Smackdown roster.
That's an easy claim to make, JR. Mysterio only weighs about...
I don't think he's climbing up there for the view.
I'll tell you, this MVP is 1 in a million.
Well, if that's the case, I'd like to see the other 999,000. What a phenomenon is the animal Batista. You talk about a force of nature, you're looking at him right there.
Force of nature? More like freak of nature, if you ask me. The fact that Batista even considers himself a main eventer is ridiculous.
He's a multiple-time heavyweight champion, King. In my book, once you wear that title around your waist, you've made it in this business.
Come on, JR. Haven't you ever heard of a fluke champion? Batista got lucky. You don't get into the Hall of Fame for being lucky.
No, you don't. And you don't get there on a fluke. But Batista's the real deal. And that's why it wouldn't surprise me one bit to see him inducted after a long and distinguished career.
I think the thing that impresses me most about Nitro is his confidence. Wouldn't you say so, JR?
Well, you could call it confidence, but I call it cockiness. And as far as I'm concerned, his daddy should have taken him to the woodshed once or twice more than he did.
That's your answer to everything, JR. Take him to the woodshed. What kind of advice is that?
I'm a raw man through and through, but I'd be lying if I said I wouldn't love to have a superstar like Rey Mysterio on the roster.
Why would you want to do something like that to Mysterio, JR? Everyone on Raw is at least twice his size. They'd destroy him.
I highly doubt that, King. We've seen Rey Mysterio get in the ring with some of the biggest, meanest superstars in all of sports entertainment, and he's won more than his fair share of matches against them. He calls himself SmackDown's MVP. Oh my, this is not what those ring ropes were meant to be used for.
Well, all's fair in love and war, JR. But after this, I don't think there's going to be a lot of loving in this superstar's future. Show off all you want, but it's not going to win you the match.
No, but getting the crowd behind you can certainly give you the edge.
I'm so disgusted with Batista, JR. He could have stayed with Triple H and Ric Flair in Evolution and continued to ride the coattails of two of the greatest legends in this business.
And there's a little something for the...
Here's your winner, Batista!